Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth, and there is a portion of this that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation. And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are gonna be pissed.
Angel Reese seems to be on a downward trajectory. After riding a massive wave of attention into a world of big money endorsements, it now looks like everything is collapsing right before our eyes. Major brand partnerships that once seemed secure are slowly vanishing one by one, and the backlash surrounding her public image is growing louder and harder to ignore. From Ice Cube's direct and unapologetic remarks to fans who once praised her, now questioning her value, the momentum behind the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie has hit a major wall in the world of marketing. And in a painful twist of fate, things started falling apart just as Caitlin Clark entered the spotlight and stole the attention while Angel was watching from the sidelines, benched and unable to respond. If you're one of the many who believe Caitlin Clark is the true superstar, the real needle mover in today's WNBA, go ahead and drop a comment that says just that. Let's be honest. You're sorry, Angel Reese, but that eye-popping $5 million offer, it wasn't meant for you. It was only ever for Caitlin Clark. And now, the situation is about to get messy. With the Big Three League's $5 million offer to Caitlin Clark falling through, the question now is whether a similar high-stakes deal could be on the table for Angel Reese. But if you know basketball, you already know the answer. Don't count on it. Not that long ago, Angel Reese was being touted as the WNBA's golden child, the future face of the league. She had a strong presence on social media, fans chanting her name, and major brands lining up to partner with her. But the narrative flipped faster than anyone imagined. The headlines began to shift. The quiet concerns from corporate sponsors turned into private doubts. Suddenly, what once seemed like a dream was unraveling in full view. Companies that were once desperate to align themselves with Angel's image are now pulling back, ghosting the conversation. What happened to the Angel Reese who was on every magazine cover? She was present in Indiana for All-Star Weekend, and her Reebok campaign, Come to Your Trap, Take Over Your Trap, was supposed to be iconic. But behind closed doors, the energy is chaotic. High-budget campaigns already in development have now been paused, some indefinitely, others canceled completely. Marketing agencies and investors are taking a hard look at the data and reaching one difficult conclusion: the returns simply aren't matching the hype. The narrative isn't adding up to real numbers. But, so, what triggered this sudden reckoning in Angel's brand value? A single interview. But not just any interview, one that featured none other than Ice Cube. And his words were cutting, not personal, but pure business. That's the way he framed it. Others might want to take it personally, but Cube made it clear. Business decisions are based on returns, not emotion. When asked why the Big Three offered $5 million exclusively to Caitlin Clark and not to Angel Reese or any other players, Cube didn't hesitate. He was sharp and precise in his answer. No one had been talking about Angel Reese. He said the sponsors weren't interested. The momentum just wasn't there. They saw Caitlin as the draw, the one with true pulling power. Angel wasn't even in the discussion. For Ice Cube, this was a matter of numbers. He made it plain: I'm not in the business of losing money. That simple declaration slammed the door shut harder than any media headline ever could. If someone like Ice Cube, with his cultural influence, street credibility, and business experience, won't bet on Angel Reese, why would any corporate sponsor? His words weren't just an opinion. They were confirmation from the people writing the checks. The decision makers, the sponsors. And that's what truly matters in this industry. This isn't just about a missed chance or a lost opportunity. It's about a collapsing image. And in the world of marketing and endorsements, perception is everything. Ice Cube's remarks sent a ripple of doubt through the corporate world. You could almost hear executives making calls behind the scenes, second-guessing their investments. Are we sure we want to continue with this Angel Reese campaign? Confidence began to dissolve, not loudly, but quietly and professionally. Not because she isn't talented, but because the hype didn't produce the expected results. It's a numbers game. TMZ Sports even caught up with Ice Cube at LAX this week, and he made it clear there's no upcoming deal for Angel Reese from the Big Three. No negotiations, no interest, nothing on the table. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's story looks completely different. When the Big Three offered her that $5 million deal, it wasn't some long-shot gamble. It was a calculated investment backed by hard data. 10 games, $500,000 per appearance. And every cent was expected to bring a strong return. That's what happens when you're a sure thing, someone who guarantees ticket sales, TV ratings, merchandise, revenue. Caitlin is a revenue-generating force. Angel Reese, not even showing up on the radar. Ice Cube never gave the same consideration to Angel Reese. While all of this was unfolding, Caitlin Clark was actually in Chicago's own city, turning it into her personal fan celebration. The most surprising part, Caitlin wasn't even playing. She was injured, sitting out. But still, massive crowds came just to see her. Thousands showed up, screaming her name like she was the second coming of Michael Jordan and Angel. Nowhere to be found, her once bold Reebok campaign faded into the background. One fan said it plainly, Caitlin didn't just show up in the trap, she owned it. She took over Chicago, like it was hers. And the reactions from fans echoed that sentiment. Ceased with MJ once said, she's treated like MJ in the Chi. That's the harsh truth Angel Reese is now facing. Hype doesn't last forever. And when executives sit down to crunch the numbers, analyzing audience reach, retention, conversion, Caitlin Clark dominates every category. She's outshining the very player who was supposed to be her rival. It's not even a close comparison. People have even started expressing sympathy for Angel, not because of anything she did wrong, but because Caitlin Clark is just that much better. One commentator put it simply, Caitlin is far superior to Angel in basketball. It's almost unfair. Another added, Angel is struggling with the realization that Caitlin is just better at everything. The numbers speak for themselves. Caitlin Clark already has more triple-doubles than most veterans, and she's only played 50 games. This is what happens when you hype up a player before they've proven long-term impact. When you confuse social media followers with actual market value. When you mistake being trendy for being profitable. It's a costly illusion, and the industry is now waking up. Loud and clear, the unraveling is here. It's quiet, it's calculated, but it's happening. Brand interest is evaporating. Emails go unanswered. New partnerships, non-existent. And perhaps the most brutal part of all, Ice Cube wasn't even targeting Angel. He just spoke the truth. A truth that sponsors already knew. In marketing, perception drives decisions. And when dollars are tight, the truth becomes unavoidable. Angel Reese was supposed to be the center of attention, the league's breakout star. But now she looks more like a cautionary tale in overexposure. As she watches her influence slip away, Caitlin Clark enters Chicago and turns the city into a spectacle. And she did it while sitting on the bench. Fans lined the streets, wrapped around buildings, skipped work, and screamed her name. She didn't just grab attention, she changed the WNBA's entire marketing narrative. People called her the Queen of the Chi. And this time, it wasn't just a catchy title. It was real. Angel had the slogans, the endorsements, and the online following. But Caitlin had something far more powerful: authenticity. She connects with people on a personal level. They believe in her, they show up for her. And that's what brands are chasing. Making matters worse, Angel began disappearing, right as Caitlin's popularity exploded. First, she was listed as questionable, then day-to-day. Yes, back injuries are serious, but the timing was suspicious. Fans noticed. The speculation started swirling. Was she avoiding the spotlight? Ducking the inevitable comparison? Because the optics don't lie. Caitlin Clark is pulling record crowds while Angel Reese is sidelined. And that contrast, it says everything. It says everything.